everyone, welcome to Parentology. I'm Choni, your host. Today I have with me someone who's known to the nation as an RJ, as an actor, as a show host. But he's here to share with us his journey as a father, about fatherhood in general. And I'm very excited to have him here actually because this is the first time we have a father sharing his side of the story on Parentology. So this is very exciting. Karma is a father to two children, a 9-year-old daughter and a 2-month-old son. Welcome to Parentology, Karma. I'm very excited.
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course.
I'm really excited to talk about my experience.
And I'm very excited to hear because Parentology, the name itself says Parentology, but surprisingly we've only had mothers share about motherhood and about parenting. So I'm actually really excited to have you here. But my first question is, how was it being a father?
It's an experience that, only when you become a father you can really experience it. Like how our parents used to say, "Shut up, humble the chamcha hakoma." Say, you know that dialogue? I mean, like when you're not a parent and when you're young, you don't understand that. You're like, what are they trying to say, But the day you become a father, that's the day you realize what it actually means. And it's an amazing journey for me because I get to share my values with my kids, teach them things that, aren't, what do you say?
That you learned as kids, right?
Yeah.
Wow. You have done something that no other father in the country has done, which is put up the whole journey of your wife's labor and the childbirth on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
I actually believe that very few people, nobody else has done it. Maybe I also put up my journey as into motherhood on Instagram, but I think I did it a little later. Yours happened real time, no? Like as you were going to the hospital, I think you put up stories, right?
I mean, like for me, I mean, like when I posted on my feed on Instagram, it's not for a like or for a view or for the viewers or for my followers. Thank you for following me, but. For me, I want to keep it like a memory book for my kids. Later on, when I'm not here, they can always go back and see my Instagram profile and see how their father lived. Because I didn't make memories with my father because we didn't have Instagram, we didn't have Facebook, and we didn't have mobile phones back in those days. Telephone rotate, it was the round one, the ringing one,
the black one.
Yeah, so I'm like, I lost my father in 2012. So, I kept thinking to myself, I wish I could remember the times I had with my father, like small moments that I still remember with him. Because he was very involved.
Oh, okay.
He was very involved. He used to always be there for us, always take us out for picnics, always try to make memories with us. Even if it's like the first time we saw a blender. Imagine that.
Like these little moments.
These little moments. I wish I could have. I mean, like we could have recorded that, and I could have had that, but I don't have that. So I thought, like, okay, if I couldn't have that, I want my kids to have that. Memories that they can later on cherish, and then remember me for all the good memories that we had. So that's why I had made that, and plus I wanted to show everyone that what our wives go through during delivery. It's amazing. It's traumatizing for the husband. I was so traumatized first.
Sure.
But later on, I thought to myself, this is amazing. I mean, like every husband should see this.
I agree.
It's like being born again, to see your child born,
Yeah.
It's such a good feeling. And I wanted to cry. There was like so many midwives in the room. I wanted to really cry. I went outside to cry. And I have a doctor friend. The moment I opened the door and I was going outside to cry, he's with the camera. He didn't let me cry properly. So I thought, like, I think people should see this in a way that, the experience. Because this is not there anywhere.
I agree. And What was very different about yours is it was the father taking the initiative. Your wife had agreed to the shooting and being a part of the film, but you compiled the videos
Yeah.
together and put it.
I don't
put
think
it
she
up.
agreed. She was in
Oh.
so much pain that she didn't
Oh,
agree.
she didn't agree.
She didn't even know.
But I'm sure she's
I mean,
grateful
like,
that you did it.
I think so. Maybe one day
Yeah.
she can. I mean, like every time she watches that, she says that, oh, I can relive that moment.
Exactly.
And I got a lot of positive
Oh, yeah.
comments from a lot of, I mean, women and girls saying that they could actually, I mean, like mothers who said they could actually feel the pain and they could actually feel what she was going through. So it was nice, you know, like maybe they could also relive their moment of having, giving birth to their child.
Yeah.
So with that, I was quite happy with
The decision
the
to,
decision to make this video. But I got a lot of backlash from my friends and how could you show your wife like
Oh,
that?
yeah.
But like I said, it was not for them.
Yeah, yeah.
It's for me. It's for my wife, for my family to see. A lot of people enjoy it. Few people don't. But like I
But
said,
that's social media.
that's
though.
social
You
media.
can never please everybody.
Yes, yes. That's
Yeah,
exactly
yeah.
what I tell everyone now. You know, you can't please everyone. You have people who like your feed, people who don't like your feed. And it's up to you who you want to listen to. So I try to keep myself away from the negative comments and the negative
Yeah.
feedback that I get and try to focus more on the positive because it's it's your decision
Yeah,
in
yeah.
which direction you concentrate on the negative feedback. It's just going to make your life worse. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
just concentrate on the good ones and make things much better. So that's
I'm really glad that that you're here on Parentology because you're very vocal about your experiences. Someone who's very articulate, and to have you on the show representing all the fathers in the country who are engaged but aren't as extrovert as you are. So this is a huge representation that you're doing, a huge responsibility on your shoulders to represent the engaged, involved fathers. Tell me, what according to you makes a good father?
let me just say that there isn't a thing called a good father and a bad father. I think it's the upbringing that you have. You know, everyone. I mean, like some people are not. They're brought up with a lot of affection and a lot of love. So they tend to carry that out onto their children, and then their affection. And then we have some fathers who are brought up in an environment where they are like, you know, their parents aren't very loving. So they also basically psychologically tend to become like their parents also. So that's why some fathers, though they might not be caring and they might not be, no, I mean like they might not show you the love that they really love you, but deep inside, fathers will always be fathers.
Yeah.
They will always love their children, no matter what.
They just maybe don't have the right way of expressing
Yes,
it and
yes.
communicating it to their child.
Yes,
But
yes.
there is.
So that's
love.
why I think that what you teach your kids is very important. Because I'm lucky that my mom and my dad, they were very affectionate, they were very caring, they taught me good values in life. So that's why how I am today is, I think it's because of the way they brought me up.
I see.
With my brothers, my siblings also.
Oh wait, how many siblings do you have?
I have 3 siblings.
I see. Okay.
One sister, 2 younger brothers. Sister has 2 sons. So I'm the cool Aja.
Oh, okay. All right.
So even when my sister's very strict with her kids. I mean, like, as in what they should eat, what they should not eat. I mean, she's going to kill me.
No, I think it is important that we have strict
Oh,
parents.
yeah, it's strict.
Right?
But what I tell her is, why are you being so strict? Why were our parents strict like that? You know, during our time, our parents were not strict. And why are you being all of a sudden strict?
But then during our parents, I'm going to back your sister here. But during our parents, they did not have access to such some very harmful foods, some chemical foods that we have access to. The junks, oh my goodness, the amount of junks we have access to now is overwhelming.
Yes, yes.
And some of it, like sausages done, so we think it's like healthy food. It's like food because we cook it at home, but it's junk. So I feel like the battle that our parents had and the parents now have is completely different. I mean, the time for phones. It's very easy to become. You mentioned there's no good parents but bad parents, but for lack of a better word, I think it's very easy to become a bad parent in this time at this time because
Easy, yeah.
we can easily give them
Given
phone.
to their
Because everybody around seems to be giving up and like being like TV tada ani sada sa
Yeah.
kachna la midichinda, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's a
that's
tough time.
that's I'm happy that you pointed this out because I can see a lot of so see now you cannot completely keep your child away from mobile phones now these days. No way.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying no way. No
I
no
agree.
parent can keep their child away from mobile phones. So but there is always a way of how you do things. Maybe like for instance for me, my daughter gets her mobile phone only on Saturdays and Sundays. That's it. And also that too, no YouTube, no Facebook, no nothing. It's just she has Netflix and that's about it.
Oh, okay.
So I'll just let her watch documentaries. Sometimes I show her animal documentary and she gets fascinated and she watches that.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah. So and half the time now these days now I mean like kids grow up so fast now. I'm like she's just 9 and she's like already talking like a teenager.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how that's
Times changed.
yeah. Times changed.
We cannot look back and be like, during my time, I was like that. So they should be like that. It's completely changed.
You have to. That's what Bhutan has to do. I think move with time. We can't be like.
Is there any difference? Nia is 9, right?
yeah.
Your eldest is Nia, right?
Yeah.
And the son is, what's his name? Sorry?
It's Yarpel.
Yarpel. Okay, so Yarpel is 2 months,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So was there any difference between the first time and the second time being father?
This I even talked to my friends about this. When I had Yarpel, I kept on thinking, how am I supposed to divide my love between two children from two different mothers? Because having kids from the same mother would be much more easier to cope. I mean, like to handle,
Yeah.
But two different kids from two different mothers, I was like quite confused of how I would want to. And for when I had Yarfel for the first 1 week, I used to keep on hugging my daughter at night because thinking, I think I'm doing less. Maybe with him being born, she might feel a little less. So I used to keep on hugging her at night, and I used to always think to myself, I should not let her feel any less, So yeah, that was quite difficult for me. But in time, I got used to it. Then, and I keep on explaining to Nia. I tell her every day. Tell her every night. I tell her, you will always be my number one. I always tell her, you will always be my number one. Then she tells me, what about Jasper? He's number two.
Technically, you're right.
Technically, but yeah. So it's very important for the child to not feel neglected.
Left out. It's good to hear a father talk and think about such emotionally sensitive topics such as this. I want to know, what was Nia's reaction when she first held her brother?
We said that it's going to be a girl. She was so happy that she was going to get a sister. She was in Porto with my mom when we were here because we had to be in the hospital, no one to take care of.
Yeah.
My mom is my rock, my backbone. She's the reason why Nia is Nia today. I feel without her help, this wouldn't be possible. She really helped me a lot. So she was with my mom, Nia. Then we called her and said, Nia, nuchu. She started crying.
no.
She started crying.
Oh no!
Mingolo mo.
But that's expected though.
Then she was a little thing, but the moment she met, when we came down to the house, she's like, no one can touch him except me, and she was waiting in the parking. So she said, I need to carry him all the way down. But we didn't let her because she was really small. So ma chinu the sofa na then I then she held the baby. Then she didn't give the baby to anyone. Anyone who wanted to come, my like sister and all the others, they wanted to see the baby. She's like, I'm not giving the baby. You can watch, look at the baby when I'm holding him. So she was really, really excited to have a sibling, I guess. But she has an elder sister from her mother's previous husband. But she's 19.
Oh, so there's a huge gap
Huge
between
gap.
all the siblings.
Yeah. So there's a huge gap. So
Wow.
so with that, she's always been, I mean, like her elder sister's in Punakha. So she's always, I've always seen the craving inside her to have a sibling, to be with a sibling. So I guess because now with Yarfel, it's that gap, that hole's been filled up. So yeah, she helps out a lot.
Wow.
And she talks to him all the time. And especially when in the morning when I'm sleeping, before she goes to school, she comes down, she talks to him. And she talks like us, like how we talk to the baby. Inna, yeah. And like, I'm like listening to her and she's like sounding like an adult. Fortunately, she's a very bubbly character and she's very open.
Do you think fatherhood over the period of time has changed what it means to be a father? Has it changed?
I think, yes, it has changed. Among our society.
In
Bhutan.
in Bhutan.
Yes, I think
over
so.
the period of time.
Yes. You can see a lot of fathers, though not, I mean, like, not many, but we have fathers who are involved with their kids, now. Because of, and now you can see that, now, you don't see that because there's no social media, there's nothing like that. But now these days you see, I mean, like, on social media, fathers taking their kids out, picnic,
cooking for them, changing their diapers. A lot of things like that. I think traditionally,
it used to be like, okay, father's job is just to make baby, then give it to the mother. Mother, you take care. Father is going to go make money. That's it.
There was a separate role and responsibility. But now, thanks to education, women are also making money. So the roles have to be divided. Whether it is making money or looking after the kid or taking care of the house more. So you do agree that there's a change in that.
Yes.
It's good?
Yes.
Is the change good for fathers?
Yeah, I think it's good for, not just for fathers, I think it's the change is good for the kids. The kids get to learn from two different sources, father and the mother, Otherwise, it's just the mother. That's not good. Then to keep your child in that state, like, I mean, like, I've had so many friends who are like literally terrified of their father. And my father, I loved him. Whatever I wanted, he would do. He would never say no to me. He would never say no to me.
Fear of certain people, like the elders, or fear of father is considered discipline. At times it's mistaken for discipline.
That's not discipline. That's not discipline.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not discipline. I think that's more like mental torture for the kids.
I agree with
you. Discipline, you make them understand. Don't force it upon them.
What motivates you to be patient with your children? What motivates you to be involved with your children, to be engaged with your children?
After I lost my father, that's when everything changed. I used to be a bad boy before. I used to indulge myself in unwanted stuff, like, doing drugs and all. In 2012, I had Nia. Then one night I was holding her. I was putting her to sleep. My ex-wife, she had already fallen asleep. I was putting her to sleep. I looked at her. I still remember that moment in the room. The lights were off and the chikagi light. Then I could see only a little bit, half of her face. I was holding her. Then I thought to myself, do I really want to do this? Keep popping pills and not be there for her. And, and it would be sad. I wouldn't be able to experience this. So the next day I went up to my mom and I said, Mom, I need to go to rehab. Then I went to my friends. I told them, I need help. And fortunately, I have a very good friend who saw through the whole process of me coming out clean. So for 2 months, I was in Thimphu Hospital. my baby was still, for 2 months, I didn't see my baby because I told them not to bring the baby to the hospital. So 2 months baby, then that's how I stopped popping pills. My daughter actually saved me. Nia saved me. So that's why I keep telling her.
Yeah.
She's like, "What's pills, Appa?" you find out later
You
when you're
find out
bigger. So yeah, so I always let her know that she's the reason why I am what I am today.
And the fact that you're still around.
Yes. Otherwise, I'm honestly saying, I would have died. I was about 48 kgs only. I was just skin and bone. That's it. I mean, like my tummy, even when I was sitting like this, it used to be inside. So I was like really, really unhealthy. Didn't eat, kept on popping. Then life didn't have a meaning for me. But that night, after I saw Nia in that way, then I thought to myself, I need to be there for my child. I want to see her go to play school. I want to see her go to school, then college. I want to be there when she gets married. I want to be there to hold my grandchild. So those are the thoughts that I had in my mind. So that's why I said, okay, fine. Enough is enough. I've had fun. It's time to stop. So that's how it all happened.
Clearly, for you, when you became a father, life changed.
Yes.
And changed for good. But what about fatherhood is very challenging? What according to you, is very difficult as a father?
I want the best for my kids. So my only worry is that what if I might not be able to give them the best? What if I can't make them the best? So I think that's one of the worries that I have.
I see.
Yeah.
And what about your wife? This is her first time as a mother. I mean, she's been a very involved stepmother to Nia.
Yeah.
She's always, I mean, I'm saying this because I follow both of them on Instagram, and I get to see how involved both of you are.
They're
with
like best
Nia.
friends, the two of them.
Exactly.
So I'm very lucky to have Tashi in my life. Tashi has always been a rock on my side. She's always supported me. She's always been there for Nia. Before Yarfel, Tashi used to do everything a mother does for her child. So for that, I love you, babe.
Hi. How
So
sweet.
yeah, she's always been there. She's right now also after Yarfel, she hasn't shown any sign of differentiating between the two of them. She's always thinking about Nia.
You've talked about Tashi as a stepmother, but how is she coping up with her baby now? What is
It's
she
her
going
first
through?
time.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Sometimes I tell her also, I wish I could put like a CC camera in the room to show the world how much you panic, you know. The other day, I was sleeping, and like, she's waking me up. She's like, baby, baby, baby. I'm like, what? No, I don't know, something's wrong with the baby. Look, just listen. I got up, I looked. The airplane is snoring. You know, baby snore at. And she thought she couldn't breathe. I was telling her, baby, he's snoring. Don't panic, relax, sleep, sleep. So first time mothers being a panic.
Yeah, I was the ambassador for that. I have a show because of that. I have my Instagram because of that.
I mean, like first time mothers they really need
support and guidance and reassurance.
Yeah.
But they will calm down eventually. But they definitely need a lot of guidance and support.
They have to experience it, and then they'll get used to me. Just hearing and listening and typing. Of course, you will learn it in your head, but when you experience it on ground, then again they panic.
What message do you have for new fathers?
My message to the new fathers is this: you have to be involved, and you become a father just once. That experience. No, I mean like you become a father once, not just once. You might be having like 3-4 kids.
Yeah. But you're still a father, even after the third.
Of living that moment with your child, they grow up. I still wish I could take Nia in my arms, but now no, I can't. I can barely lift her up like this. So it's moments and memories that matters the most when we are gone. So I would like to advise everyone, not just fathers, mothers, everyone, to make as much memories as possible. Good memories. Sometimes bad ones will be there also. There are also memories. it might be bad at that moment, but later on you just think about it and laugh about it, laugh at it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just be involved. That's all I'm saying is involved with your kids because they're amazing. They're amazing.
Thank
Amazing
you so much.
creatures.
Thank you so much. And that is a very beautiful message, especially it goes along with parentology.
I hope maybe this may be able to help a few new parents because Menkana, that when Tashi was going through the delivery, there were 5 other women who were there. Then I was quite shocked not to see none of them had their husbands there.
So who did they come with?
They had the sister or maybe like a friend, and there was one lady screaming inside. She was giving birth. Okay, I'm like, my husband was outside he's playing PUBG. They're like really terrified me about husbands. So
Wow.
all husbands, the first thing that you need to do is see your wife, be there for her in the delivery room, see the process of how your child was born. That itself is an experience that will lead to more beautiful experiences later on.
Yeah, it helps the bonding between the father and the child.
Yeah.
And it is actually you have to put an effort for the father and the child to bond. The mother and the child, there's a natural bond in a lot of cases because the mother carries the child 9 months.
Yeah.
They're already connected and they're born and the mother is ready to accept that. But for the father, it happens overnight.
Yeah.
And he becomes a father
Yeah.
overnight. So it takes a lot of effort. And you're so right, Karma. For the father to be involved in the childbirth, the whole process of it actually is necessary for you to build that bond with your child. And I'm so glad you brought that example. And I think we need to maybe slide in a message to all the fathers. Even though this is your first time, it's scary, I know. And
Yeah, it's traumatizing. It's traumatizing. Trust me, it's like traumatizing at first, but later, it's an experience that you can't explain in words.
Exactly.
It's difficult for me to put it in words also. You have to feel it. I cannot explain it and say it to you.
Yeah.
But everyone has to go through and feel it. Then you'll realize, oh, now I know what he was talking about.
I'm glad we put this out, and hopefully we'll be encouraging more fathers to go to the hospital and be a part of the birthing process, because as we mentioned, it is quite essential for the father to be there when your child is born. Anyways, with that, we wind up today's episode. Thank you so much for taking out the time.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
It was my pleasure. Thank you. Anyways, we will catch you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.